Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to show y'all the top 10 bike hacks that I kind of live by, and these have helped me all my years of riding, and I think they're the top 10 things that every bike rider should know. Okay, so first one is mainly going to apply to peg riders. So as you can see right here, I have part of my pedal painted red, and so that's because if you ever do crank arms or just double pegs or feebles in general and your peg slides across that surface, it's going to wear all of these pins down and make your foot slip off a lot easier. So I do this, so whenever I step on my bike, I always look for that red side to put my foot on. That way, if I ever do a grind, I'm only going to grind down the pins on one side, and that's really going to make your pedals last a lot longer. So the way to do this, you can get a $2 paint marker from Walmart. I literally just went and picked these up. These are brand new pedals. Flip this around so y'all can actually see it. So then all you got to do is just go over here. I already have the red on here, but I like making it look a little more fancy. So I'm just going to color in all the Odyssey letters. And unfortunately, this paint marker is brand new, so it's kind of bleeding. What I do to normally kind of counteract that is I'm going to get a Sharpie later and just go right around all of this with a black Sharpie, kind of outline it, and it'll cover up all of these missed spots. So I'm just going to run through it really quick, since it doesn't really matter and you won't be able to tell later. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You really don't have to go through and do like painting in the letters on your pedals. I just like it because it looks good. You'll actually use these here in a minute, so I'll just toss those aside. The next thing is also going to be for your pedals. So the second thing is going to be giving your pedals a little more grip. So this isn't applicable to all pedals, kind of like I said for the first one, but if you have pedals with a flat surface where the pins aren't, so like right here, these are Odyssey Twisted PCs, they come flat right here. There's no micro knurling. What that is, it's kind of just like a sandpaper feel to give your shoes a little more grip. Some metal pedals have this, some plastic pedals have this, but these don't. So if yours don't, all you gotta do is get a razor blade. So I just have a box cutter, and all I'm gonna do is just cut little diagonal lines. You wanna relocate? All right, so whenever you finish just one way, you just wanna go around all the pedal wherever you're gonna actually have your shoe touching it, and then go ahead and do it. I just like doing like an X pattern. If you do any more than that, I feel like it really doesn't add anything. So just for the sake of time, I'm not actually gonna finish all of this. I'm just gonna show y'all. So all this is gonna do is just help your pedal or your feet not slip off. So like if you're doing a manuals and your feet start to kind of turn, it's gonna give you a little more resistance on there. So that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna go and do all of it. I'll finish it up later, but this is pretty much all y'all need to see. So third BMX hack that you're gonna wanna do is, I find a lot of beginners have a lot of trouble with this, and it's just keeping your back wheel tight, and then whenever you actually tighten it, it's staying tight and where you want it to be. So like right now, you can see Luke's tire is almost rubbing right here. So I'm gonna show you all the easy way to fix this and the way that I do it every time. So all you're gonna need for this is your normal socket and a t-shirt. Just some old t-shirt you're gonna not wanna use anymore, because you are gonna get some grease on it, and I don't wanna be responsible for any good shirt. So just loosen up your tire. All right, so once you got it loose, you're gonna wanna put your pedals in the arrangement that you normally ride them. So if you ride left foot forward, you want that pedal forward, because your sprocket will kind of deform a little bit to fit, or to get loosest in that spot. So all you gotta do, roll up your shirt and just jam it, and you wanna jam it kind of evenly on both sides. They laugh. Jam it on both sides and really get it tight. The tighter you get it in there, the easier it's gonna stay, and the tighter you're actually gonna get your wheel. Drop it. All right, so once you get it in there and you got your chain as tight as you want it, then you're just gonna wanna make sure that it's kind of even on both sides, your tire's lined up where you want it to be, and then just go ahead and start tightening it down. And the key to this is tightening it evenly on both sides. So you don't want to just tighten one side all the way down and then go back and tighten the other. That's when you're going to really start to see your wheel shift over to one side. So once you get it a little bit tight, make sure that it's still kind of lined up how you want it. This one's not bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it down. A couple turns on one side, a couple turns on the other. And then pop it out, chains tight, wheel straight. So the fourth hack is gonna be super easy. These cost you like $3. Get bar ends with the screw in them like that. So these are Odyssey bar ends, and what it is, it's like a really hard plastic bar end that has like a little screw in it, so whenever you want to put it in, you loosen it, jam them in, and then tighten it up. And these things are never gonna fall out, but if you ever do want to take them out, it's super easy. If you have bar ends like this, where it's just kind of like the spongy, just cheap bar ends you normally get with grips, so like ODIs come with like really crappy, like I think they're nylon, and if you ride this enough and drop your bike enough, you're gonna eventually chop off all of the like rubbery material around your bar, and then you're just gonna be left with a little piece of rubber sticking out of your bar that you can't get out, and it's a real pain in the butt. I really hate it, and I think you could easily avoid this. Just go buy some Odyssey bar ends or any other bar ends that have that little screw in it, and it'll save you so much time in the future. All right guys, taking a little break from all those hacks. My buddy hit me up the other day and has this super cool product that he just put out. So it's just a little Frisbee. It looks almost like a clay pigeon that you go skeet shooting with. But you put your finger in this little groove and you throw it sidearm and it can fly. So here's a little example. It takes a little bit to get used to, but they're so much fun, guys. My favorite thing about them is they're so small that you can literally just fit them in your pocket. So like I went to a tailgate for a football game the other day, and I didn't want to carry around a football or a Frisbee. We wanted something to be able to throw around and have a little bit of fun with while we're just kind of killing time. And that was absolutely perfect. I pulled it out and I've got so many reactions like, what is that? Like it's called a rip disc. They're a ton of fun, and y'all should check them out. Thanks guys. All right, so the fifth hack is gonna be getting rid of throttle grip. If you don't know what throttle grip is, it's whenever you grab your grips and it starts spinning on your bars, so it feels like a throttle on a motorcycle. So it's super annoying. This can happen if you leave your bike out in the rain or if you get a little bit of dirt under there when you drop your bike. So the easiest way to get rid of this that I found, and that you can do with stuff you have at home, is you're just gonna wanna roll your grip back. These are actually brand new grips, so I really don't have that problem right now. But you just want to roll it back, especially where it's sliding. So if it's sliding more on the inside, roll that side up. If it's on the outside, roll that side up. And then just get tape. I think electrical tape works the best. Just kind of, it's a lot more sticky than like Scotch tape and stuff like that, and it'll really pull off absolutely everything. So, and you just want to tape around where you have like all the sand or water or whatever is making your grip slide. Just peel it right back off, and you pull off all of the stuff on there that was making your grip slide. You just flip it back up and boom. Just like now, even though they are new. But super easy thing. Any kind of tape works, but I definitely recommend electrical tape if you have it, just because it's so much stickier. And I'm just gonna hop into the sixth one. This one's not necessarily a hack, and more just a thing to kind of make your bike look a little bit cooler, and I really like. So a lot of tires come with the lettering already colored in it, but some of them don't, and I think it's a really cool thing that makes your bike look a lot cooler. So you're gonna need a paint marker, again, whatever color you want, it's up to you. You can even just draw random designs on here if you want to, but I like coloring in all the little raised up lettering on here. So I colored in the machete on my demolition machetes. So all you had to do for that is get the paint marker, mark where all the letters are, and you're gonna want a pencil. So once the paint dries, just get a pencil, like a mechanical pencil, and extend it and just kind of outline all the lettering, because these are gonna bleed off of it just a little bit. There's not really any way to avoid that. And then once you get that pencil and go around it, if there's still a little more, get a fine tip Sharpie and kind of cover all the little spots that still have paint on them. And that's how I got this. I literally followed those exact steps to get all this. And I'm gonna repeat that on both sides of my tires, just because I think it looks a lot better. All right, so the seventh hack is gonna be just the main things you need to have on you and that you can fit in a backpack without it being too inconvenient. This is just so, like, if you get to a spot and you start riding, you wanna have these things on you just in case something happens, like if you mess up your tire or blow a tube. These are the 4 things that I think are the most important that I always have on me when I ride. And that's just some basic Allen keys in case your bars slam forward or backwards. and then a bar of wax. If you have pegs, I always go to spots, always forget my wax. So recently I've been really making sure that I take this everywhere I go. A socket, Lord knows, something always happens whenever you're riding, whether that means like you miss your back peg and slam into an upright and you gotta readjust your back wheel. I always recommend having a socket. And then of course, a tube and a tire lever. I actually have my tire lever in my backpack, but I don't feel like going to get it. Just have a tire lever. Hack number 8, all you're gonna need is a Sharpie. And this is just gonna be something to mark on your stem to where you know, like if you hear a sound, you know what moved. So this happened to me yesterday. I had no idea what moved, and I still feel like something's off with my bars. So I'm doing this from now on. That way I know if I hear a sound, I can look and see what's moved, and that way I can just quickly adjust it. So all you gotta do is just mark on your stem. So first thing I'm gonna mark is the top cap. This is not gonna move. Normally I'm just gonna cover up that one and have a little mark right there. And like these aren't gonna be things you can really notice or see. It's just kind of so you know if it moved. And then the second one is gonna be on the side of your bars. Most people don't mark this, but I think it's super helpful just so you know like where you like your bars. If you like it right there, you know to put it right back there. And if you end up wanting to move them, you have a point of reference. So if you think they're a little too far forward, you can watch that little piece and then move them back just as far as you want them. So you can also mark the stem bolts on here, just these little guys, but I don't think you're really gonna have a problem with that. That's more of a preference thing. If you really do want to do that, if you're having problems with your stem coming loose, you can mark those too, but I don't really have that problem. So I'm just gonna leave those how they are. And that's it for tip number 8. Where I used to go through shoes really fast. That happens to a lot of people who ride brakeless, just because the main thing that people do whenever they first start riding brakeless is they jam their foot in their back tire. And this really wears down your shoes super fast. And personally, I ride my bike across campus every day to get to all my classes. So if I did that every day, I'd be going through shoes like probably once a month. But the easiest way to get around that is doing like a little back tire slide. Granted, this isn't necessarily a beginner trick. I've tried to teach a few people this. They kind of end up doing it wrong and falling. So once you're kind of comfortable on your bike and feel confident you can do this, go ahead and try to learn it. But if you just took your brakes off yesterday, I wouldn't recommend learning this first. And all it is a little slide of your back tire. I'll show you a quick one real quick. So you get a little bit of speed, and you cut your speed almost in half. If you are going especially fast, you can put your foot down and slide it just like this. That'll help you stop a lot faster. It's kind of hard on your knees though. I have a bad knee, so I try to avoid that if I can. But that's super easy. It'll wear out your tires a little faster, but a $25 tire is a lot easier to replace than a $100 pair of shoes. And I've been riding this tire for like probably 4 years, and I stop that way every single day. And I probably go up to like 25 miles an hour on campus and stop just doing that. And I'm still running the same tire. So super helpful thing to learn later on if you ride brakeless, or even if you do have brakes on it, you don't want to stop with that. You want to look a little cooler. If you want, try that. But that's it for tip number 9. The last tip, it's not necessarily anything on your bike. It's just kind of how to progress a little bit faster. So you don't want to get stuck riding the same thing. I found myself doing this quite a bit. I would just go to a skate park every day and only ride that same skate park. And I never really could get any faster or any better very quick. So just go ride different things. Like we're actually about to build some dirt jumps, which I'm going to put a lot of videos out on. But go ride dirt jumps, go ride street, go ride park. It really helps you get more well-developed in all of your tricks, gives you a lot more flow, and it just gives you different features to learn tricks on. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed those 10 bike hacks and kind of remember those. Those are pretty much the 10 main things that I've learned out of like my 8 years of riding and have been super helpful to me. So hopefully they helped y'all out. If y'all have any